Hey there, you're not your background, and here's why. My name is Florence. I'm a social media manager, and today I'm going to be telling you about my limitless story. Let me just start it from when I was still in the university. As a university student, I had a lot of expectations because I used to be an A student in secondary school, and I felt like, oh yeah, we're going to the university to just dust it and all of that. But yeah, I got the greatest shocker of my life, and that was that I started to fail, and this kind of tampered with my personality, with how I viewed myself. I started to see myself as a failure, and eventually I didn't graduate with what I wanted. I went to Obafemi Awolowo University and I studied microbiology. I graduated with a second class upper, and while I was, in my penultimate year, and I was seeing it already that it's looking like I'm not going to graduate with a 2-1. I started to ask myself questions. What do you want to do with your life? How do you want to make things happen for your life? What kind of job would you do? I even started to have thoughts like, will you even be able to do masters with a 2-2 and all of that? And at some point I was drowning in my thoughts, but something changed. And what changed is that I started to see it that I am not my results. I am not my background. I am not what situations around me are saying. I am me, and I need to discover me. And here's the question I want to ask you. If you're feeling like you're not up to the task, if you're feeling like, you're a failure, if you're feeling like you can't even make things happen for yourself, or you're feeling like there's no good thing about you, or like, you are so anxious about the future, I want to tell you that do not think that way, because you are not your background. You are not your results. You're not what people say. You're not what people think about you. You are who you think you are. Yes, you heard me. You are who you think you are. So whatever you say you are, that is who you are. Whatever you think you are, that is who you are. And I'll just say this with scriptures also. Scripture says that as a man thinks in his heart, so is he, right? So whatever you think about yourself, that is who you are. So if you're struggling with, self-sabotage, you're just looking at yourself and you're like, how I can't even get something good out of life. No, you need to pick up yourself and tell yourself that that's not who I am. I am who I say I am. I am who God says I am, right? The moment I discover that I am not my results, I am not my failures, I am not what people think, I started to now discover purpose. And then that was where the journey of my success started from. If you started watching from the beginning, you would notice that I mentioned that I am a social media manager, right? And I studied microbiology in school. Yes, being a social media manager now started from me finding out who I really am. Yes, I had to now take out time and okay, so who am I? What are my passions? What are the things that can still make me stand out? Discovering what is unique about you. That is the first step in breaking self-sabotage. That's the first step in bringing the best out of you. That's the first step in becoming the who that you really want to be, right? Discovering yourself, discovering your potential, discovering your unique selling point. What is that thing that stands you out? And I started to find out that, I enjoy communication. I enjoy doing things that make me interact with people, right? And I started to pick it. I love to talk. I love to, engage people. And that was where the journey started from. So when I saw that, talking was a thing for me, I'm like, how can I make a living out of this? How can I make a career out of this? How can I bring out something good out of this? And then I sat down and I started to do my research. I started to read books. I started to attend conferences and take courses on how I can just develop my craft. Yeah, that's it. And from there, I started to see that, I have a thing for social media. I started to see that, I have a thing for creating content online, right? And that was where the journey started from. It first started from me knowing what my unique selling point is, knowing what my strength was, and then reaching out to others that have, probably found their path, sort of. And that was where it all started from. I remember back in 2020, when I just really started, I realized that I was a good person when it comes to talking. I was good at talking, but I was very bad at writing. And from the trainings and all of that I have taken, I have learned that you cannot talk well without writing well. So I just went on this daily challenge of creating content. So I was writing and I was using all sorts of design apps there and all these phone softwares to just put out content there, and I was consistently posting on my social media. That was where my whole writing skills started from, and I started to do that. And from there I started to look out for courses, as at that time I could not pay for a lot of courses, but I was taking free courses, and I was also following people that were already in the industry, and I started to follow them so I would get access to scholarship. Yes, I applied for a lot of scholarships that just gave me access to being in the same room with the people that I admired the most and to learn from them. So, and that was where it all started. In 2022, I was just out of my internship. Then I had interned with a social media manager, a digital marketer as a social media manager, and she just threw me out of the job because I was not meeting up with the task. Where I didn't have a laptop of my own. I was borrowing my dad's laptop, and there was no even light. We didn't have electricity, so it was just a serious hustle meeting up with the job target. And because of that, she was tired of me, and she said, pack your things and go. I was very sad. I was down, but I just told myself, I said, if you fall, you pick yourself up again. And I picked myself up again, and then I saw this FCMB Flex 10 challenge. I just called my younger brother. I'm like, I need to do a video, and I did the video, and I started to put it out, asking people to vote for me. And guess what? That video got me my current job. Through that, I was selected as part of the 30 winners. Rather, we had over 1,000 participants that was selected among the 30 people that won, and then they placed each and every one of us in different companies to intern with, and that was how I got to intern with Pulse Nigeria, and currently I work as a social media manager with Pulse Nigeria. What are the things that you should learn from this? Number one is that you are not your background, you are not what people say you are. You need to discover yourself, discover your unique selling point, and then you need to build and develop your skills, develop your craft, highlight your strengths and your weaknesses, your skills. What are the things that are required to take you to that desired future? What are things that are required to take you to that place where you want to be? You need to highlight it, and then you need to now start working on it. You need to develop a plan. What's your personal development plan? Have a goal, have a set target, and then work by it. Be accountable to yourself. If you have an accountability partner, good for you. You need to also have mentors, get people that can help you navigate that path. That will really go a long way because they have gone ahead of you. Attend conferences, attend seminars, network with people, be in people's space. You might not be able to be in the same room with people, but you can follow them on social media. Yes, you can read their books. Yes, you can take their courses. Do those things. And lastly, carry God along in your plans. Be intentional about praying about your plans. I remember in my 400 level, I was so scared that I thought I was going to have an extra year, and I was praying one day, and God told me, you're not going to spend an extra day in the school, and what you will become, it will be by my grace. And to be honest, that is just the story of my life. So you need to involve God. It's very, very important. Yes. So I just believe that you must have learned one or two things from this video, from my story, and it will help you to navigate through life. Bye.